There's even an article, Rob, that said parents are arguing with their kids. But yeah, here, Trump's Gen Z male appeal has liberal parents clashing with their conservative sons. Tell me that's not the craziest thing you've ever heard.
Sounds weird.
Let me just read this to you. So a New York Times article revealed a growing trend of liberal parents clashing with their conservative Gen Z sons over political differences, particularly support for Trump. Alex Baer shared that he argued with his son Eli about guns, immigration, and abortion, describing his frustration in text exchange. Facts don't matter to you. Love you. Have a good day. Many parents like Melanie Moreland view their sons' political choices as an expected act of rebellion or independence, but admit the conflicts feel like a painful rejection of their values. Trump gained significant traction among young voters, winning 53% of men aged 18 to 44, despite Vice President Kamala Harris securing a majority of the youth vote. Some parents, like Alexei Sorokin, blamed online conservative influencers. It's your fault, online conservative influencers, Adam, for shaping their sons' beliefs, saying, I was like, who's got a hold of my son? I've lost him. Tom, thoughts?
You know what? This was interesting. This was really interesting. You know that old joke that says, what happens when you play a country song backwards? You know, your truck is no longer wrecked. You get your girlfriend back and you get your dog back. If you play the song backwards. Well, I feel like
that was actually good, Tom.
I actually feel like you just played the song backwards. I take you to the 60s. Conservative parents coming into the Vietnam War, their kids in the late 60s are smoking weed, protesting Vietnam, going bonkers, free love, and all this stuff.
Now parents are smoking weed.
Now the parents are still smoking weed,
So
and they've got their conservative sons going to college and saying, Dad, you're nuts. Taxes are important. And what's happening at the immigration and abortion is crazy. And all this stuff on abortion and free love stuff, Mom, you're crazy. And then they're like, man, what happened to my son? It's like a time warp.
That's
it's
hilarious.
like we've all gone backwards. And now the kids, but you know what that means? That means the future looks bright. That means the future looks bright because the next generation is standing up and saying, wait a sec. We want you to listen to this podcast, process with us, make up your mind for yourself,
Adam,
and then call your parents and tell them they're nuts.
Well, it's interesting. Some of these articles sort of have a similar theme. So this was Trump's Gen Z male appeal has liberal parents clashing with conservative sons, almost like the exact opposite, right? We've all heard the stories about the people that go to Catholic school and they're so mandated to act a certain way, and the day they graduate, woo, watch out. We know what happens there. But there's also something that is totally different. You talked about the boomer generation. You talked about the anti-war generation, Vietnam, and then it was Gen X and millennials. But this generation has grown up with social media in their hand. You know, you talked about the article in the last podcast about we're so inundated with information. You said 80%, Pat. What was it? 80% of our day?
89 hours, 82 hours a week.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
So we also recall that there's an article, I don't know if it's The Economist, I don't know if it's Guardian, but if you put this in, how young men are becoming more conservative and then young women are becoming more liberal, which is going to be pretty dramatic and tough in the dating pool. Is this it right here? Yeah, why young men are becoming conservative. No, there's a graph. We did it with Charlie Kirk that one day. But and here's another article right here, Wall Street Journal, the rise of young Republicans in America's college campuses. So what's happening is young men are becoming more conservative. And look, Barron Trump gets a lot of credit. Our friend Bo Loudon is gets a lot of credit. And young women, unfortunately, are losing their mind because young men, they at least have sort of male archetypes to look up to. Look at all the names on the podcast right there. If you're sort of a younger guy and you're looking up to the Nelk Boys or the Logan Pauls, all right, cool. At least they stand for masculinity. If you're more a little bit older and you identify with the PBD podcast, or if you're super old and you identify with other members of the PBD podcast, it's fine. But young women, who are their female archetypes? Who are their role models? Is it Cardi B? Joy Behar? Is it the women on The View? Is it Taylor Swift? All right, not as bad. Who is it? And then women are getting more encouraged to be more liberal. They're focusing on abortions, not having babies. They're focusing on taking men's jobs, yet then when they want to go out on a date, they want the men to pay. So it's sort of backwards in the women's world, but men at least have leaders to look up to at this point.
Guys, if you're somebody that's a business person, an executive, somebody that wears French cut, you wear, what do you call it?
Cufflinks,
and you wear nice shirts, nice suits. A lot of people have been asking about it. We finally have it. Last week you saw Vinny in DC dressed. When Vinny puts his three-piece, money. When he looks like somebody running for office. We just got limited supply of these cufflinks with Valuetainment logo on it. You have a choice to go with the silver and black, or you have a choice to go with the silver and red with the Valuetainment logo on it. It's the set with the cufflinks as well as the, what do you call it? The tie bar that's on it as well, combined together with Future. You open it up, it says Future Looks Bright and Valuetainment logo on top of it. For those of you that wear suits and you wear quality shirts and you want some cufflinks, go add this to your collection. We may not do this continuously in the future, but it may be something you want to add. And if more support is for this, we will consider adding more of these different types of things with cufflinks. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. The first 50 that place the order get the coffee mug, Future Looks Bright, with the American flag and the 4547 stickers that we made, the limited edition stickers that we made that we'll send to you as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.